That's the spot right there, bro. That's where I'm about to go and record this video for y'all. Let's do it.
Welcome to the channel. Of course, my name is Slendy. As you can see by the title of the video, I'm talking about life after high school, man. I graduated high school a little over a year ago. I graduated May 20th, 2024. I had everything set in front of me. I had football, I had school, I had my family, I had my friends, and I had a person in my life. And everything was looking up, and I couldn't see anything going wrong at that point in my life. And what I call this style of living and thinking is seeing your life with rose-colored tinted glasses. And you're probably wondering what that means. Well, coming out of high school, you couldn't really tell me anything. I had a plan, I had it set, I had my person, I had my friends, and I was set on, I'm going to be stuck with this person for the rest of my life. I'm going to have these friends for the rest of my life. I'm going to play football. I'm going to go pro. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to graduate. And everything that I have set out up until this point is going to work because I worked so hard for it up until this point in my life. And it's going to go the way that I wanted to. And you can't tell me otherwise. So that's really an ignorant way of thinking. And that was very ignorant on my part. And I've had to learn the hard way. So after that day, I kind of had everything set out. I had 2 jobs. I was working at a trampoline park and I was cutting grass. I was in the blue collar industry. I was training every day for football. I'm a receiver, so I was going to like route running training, catching, lifting weights, just every day. The grind didn't stop. I was either working in the weight room or with my girl at the time. And everything was looking up. I couldn't see anything slowing me down. I had a grind, I had a purpose, I had a vision, I was going to succeed that. And all you guys should as well. If you don't have that, then you need to figure it out fast because you don't have the time in life that you think you have. So I went on campus June 15th of 2024. It's crazy. I remember all these dates, bro. I remember everything. I remember dates, everything. I have a telegraphic memory or whatever you call it. But I went up to Thomas. That's the school that I committed to, Thomas University. Here's the commitment picture right here. Wow. I got there. I was on campus. My dad dropped me off. It was about a 5-hour drive away from home. I was like, dang, I'm really here. I've made it. I'm a college football player. And if you're playing football, you're watching this, please don't have that mindset. Just because you're in college, yeah, you made it to the next level, but you did not make it yet. So continue to grind. Don't get content. I was there and I was like, damn, I made it. I was practicing with the team. I was on a college roster. I was around college football players that's been playing for years now, for whatever reason. And I felt alive. It's all I ever wanted. It's all I ever prayed for. I was in my room crying and praying for these days that I would be able to get to this point in my life. I remember not having offers and just, fiending to feel the way that I was feeling. And I was there now. Everything that I worked for, everything that I grinded all those 4 years in high school was here. Long story short, I was there. It wasn't all that I thought that it was going to be. Coming out of high school, college coaches would tell you anything. They would be like, yeah, you're going to come here, you're going to play first day, you're going to be day 1 starter, we need you, we want you, you're going to be seeing playing time as a freshman, you don't got to worry. You're like our ideal recruit. They'll tell you all these things, but once you get there, it's a polar opposite of what they told you. And once you get there, bro, you're just another player on the roster, and everything that you thought it was going to be, not going to be exactly like that. And they're going to show you and tell you that you got to work for everything on this field. And everything on this field is given to you, basically. So once I got there and I got hit with that dose of reality, it was like, damn, well, I thought that I was a big guy on campus, you're supposed to be basically spoon feeding me because that's how you were doing on the visits. That's how you were doing in those phone calls to me while I was in school. So I got there and I struggled. As soon as I got to college, not gonna lie, I was having a hard time adjusting, waking up early in those mornings for those early morning workouts, those middle of the day practices where it's 100-degree weather outside, those meetings, bro, I tell you, bro, it's like 10, 15 of them. And it's for special teams, offense, defense, the film for the day, bro. You're going to be in meetings more than anything once you get to college. If you're playing football, that's one thing you better know is you're going to be in meetings more than anything, more than you're in the weight room, more than you're on the field. You're going to be in those meetings, man. But long story short, man, I got there. I thought I was hot shit. I got smacked in the face a couple times, and it showed me like this isn't high school anymore. These are grown men. I ended up getting injured, unfortunately, and that bothered me. But I was like, it's okay, because I can recover from this. Fall camp's gonna come up, and I'm gonna be fine, right? No, sir. So fast forward, I get back home. I'm recovering from my hamstring strain injury. What my high school coach put in work. I'm still working my jobs that I had set out for me before I left, and I was putting in more hours, so it started to get a little bit more stressful. But it is what it is. And I was hanging out with my girlfriend at the time, bro. And life was good. I had no complaints. I was hanging out with the boys from time to time, bro. Just living life, man. It was a pretty fun time in my life, even though it was just a year ago. It was a fun time in my life. Some days I do miss it, but it is what it is. Fast forward to the end of July, I'm leaving for fall camp. I'm telling all my family goodbye because at the time I think it would be the last time I see them for a while. And I cried a lot at this time period. Everything was hitting me. I'm like, damn, I'm a grown up now. I'm not gonna be with mommy and daddy anymore. I'm gonna be 5 hours away from home with no help. I'm gonna have to fend for myself, and it's not gonna be nobody to come wake me up, nobody to come tell me what to do every day. No bell to ring to go to class or to go to practice. It's all on me now. And that all hit me. And the hours were getting tougher. I was working 16-hour shifts up until that point. I was just like, damn, bro, I never felt this pain before. I didn't know how to handle it. So the day before I went to college and went to fall camp, I was at the field, of course, putting in work with my boys, and I ended up training my hamstring again after doing all that recovery. So it's like, damn, I'm at square one. I just trained my hamstring, got to go to college, and I got to explain to him why I can't practice day 1 because I'm hurt and I can't fucking run. It was so unfortunate for me, given the fact that I felt like I was getting slapped in the face. Everything that I worked for, it seemed like it was like going down the drain. It's kind of sort of all that money I was putting into trainings and all that shit felt like it was going to drain. I'm like, dude, why am I injured again? I'm not going to be able to showcase my talent and show them that I really belong here because during summer camp I didn't. I was getting fucking dogged out on, bro. Basically, I get there, I kind of had to break it to him, like, coach, I'm hurt. It's like, how are you fucking hurt already? he was an old school guy, so you know, you know how those old school coaches are, dude. They're gonna lay it out on you. They're not gonna sugarcoat shit, bro. So, how you injured already, son? Like, I was training. This is all I have. This is all I love. So, I was putting in that work, and I got hurt. Apologize, coach. It's like, don't apologize to me. Apologize to yourself because we really needed you. You need to get off on the right foot, and you can't be on the field with us. So you need to be in that training room every day. It's like, yes, sir. I'm in the training room every day, and time goes on. It's like a week and a half through fall camp, 2 weeks. He's like, well, when are you ever gonna get on the field, son? Coaches are not really too keen on injuries like that. They don't really care about them much. They just want to see you on the field. They recruited you for so long. They're banking on you. They're giving you a scholarship. So all they care about is you producing on the field. So they don't really understand where the athletes come from as far as injuries go. So it is what it is. So because of me getting scrutinized every day, I rushed myself back on the field. And that was probably the worst decision I could have made because once I did that, I practiced for like 3 days and I got injured again. I made it worse. I ended up tearing it. So I was going to be out for a few months now that I did that. And I was sunken in a deep place. And at this point, me and my girl are going through it. We're falling out because, she couldn't be there for me as much as I would have liked. And, I didn't have football at the time. All I had was like going to my trainer to rehab my injury and going to school. I was just rehabbing, going to school, and going back to my dorm. So I had a lot of time on my hands, and ended up, getting a little fed up with the situation I had in hand, and I started relying on her a little too much at this point in my life, and that's the worst decision you could ever make. Once that person that you're with knows that you're relying on them, and you're just me, come talk to me. That's how you end up losing them, bro. Because it's like, damn boy, you don't got nothing else better to do. So yeah, man. The things I love most on this earth, I didn't have football. She was all I had at this point. I couldn't really talk to my parents like that because they had stuff going on. My friends had things going on themselves. They were in college, so they couldn't really be there for me. So she was all I had to that point, and it ended up being a recipe for disaster because anytime she'll be gone or she'll be out, I would be like, well, is it just fuck me now? You're just doing all these things. You're going out living life, and I'm not. And it's a really toxic mindset to have. You shouldn't have it at all. And I've learned so much from that situation. But long story short, me and her ended up breaking up. It was mutual, but we felt like it was best for the both of us at the time. So boom, football's gone, my girl's gone. I don't have the jobs anymore because I'm gone for college. So I'm in school, doing some shit that I don't want to do. I lost the love of my life that I thought I would be together forever with, and I don't have football anymore. So after that, I find myself crawling back to what I thought was all I had, which was the girl, and it ended up not going my way. And I really went off the deep end at this point, bro. And I started having those thoughts of, ending my life because everything that I thought I had figured out up until that point was just down the drain. And I felt like I was a failure. I felt like, bro, imagine the people I went to high school with see what I was going through now. I was supposed to be the big man. I was supposed to be putting on for the city, and now I'm just fucking nobody in the middle of nowhere. And I lost everything that I ever loved. So I ended up leaving Thomas because I wasn't going to be playing. I was being redshirted anyway. I ended up leaving Thomas. Went back home. Ended up getting some help, psychological help. I started going to counseling and stuff. I'm playing for this school. So I was also about to be joining the military, which was also something that I did not want to do. So I'm like, well, fuck, I done fucking wasted my time coming into the school because I'm in the military now. I'm going to school doing shit that I don't want to do. I'm not playing football any fucking more. I'm right back at home, which I never thought that I would be because, you know what I'm saying? Once you go to college, you're never looking back, bro. It's like on to the next chapter of my life. And I was just like, well, God damn it, bro. You're a fucking failure. And I would just start bad talking myself and I was giving up on myself slowly, and it was the saddest thing. And that leads me to the main thing I'm talking about in this video, and it's that have a goal, have a plan coming out of high school, but don't get caught up in them. And what I mean caught up in them is like, don't let that be the end all be all of your happiness. I let all those things in my life at the time be the center of my happiness instead of the little things, like waking up in the morning, breathing, having a roof over my head, having food to eat, having water to drink. I let football and the girl and the friends and the clout and the money have that be the root of my happiness and the root of what made me get up in the morning. And once all that was gone, I felt like I was nothing as a person. And you never want that to be you. That's what ended up being my demise. And once all of that was gone, it was like, well, who are you now? What am I even living for? You don't want that to be you, man. And at the end of the day, choose something coming out of high school that you know that you can stick with and that you're going to love. And don't put all your eggs in one basket either. I know you probably hear that all the time, but I'm living proof that you don't need to put all your eggs in one basket. And I mean that truly. I put my all into football so much to the point where once all that was gone, I was injured. I had nothing else. And that really sucked for me because, bro, once I didn't have football anymore, bro, I felt like I was just a fucking loser. And when it comes to relationships, bro, you're more in that relationship, you're more in that person. People come and people go. And that person that your high school sweethearts with may not be there with you for the rest of your life. And sometimes you gotta sit back and think about it, even though you may not want to. Sometimes you do, and be like, I enjoy our time together, but everything has a time limit on it. I put all my eggs into all these baskets, and once they were gone, it was just like, damn. I don't think, or watch this video and be like, oh, well, shit, Slendy, you're fucked up out here. You don't got nothing going for yourself anymore. Are you still depressed? Are you still fucked up? No. And that brings me to my next topic. If you ever get into a little drought and you get a little depressed and you get a little down about how things are going in your life once you're out of high school and you feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel, it is, because once I got into that slump, I had a feeling like everything that was happening to me was like the end all be all, and this was the start of my demise, and I was going to start to fucking fall off the face of the earth, and I was going to be one of those guys that peaked in high school and shit. But don't let that be your reality, bro. You are in control of your reality at the end of the day. Everything that happens in your day-to-day life is going to contribute to the things that you get at the end. So the way you eat, the way you treat yourself, the way that you treat people, there's all things, 3 things that could correlate to how you're going to see your life play out. So you should always take those things into consideration. And if you ever get into a slump, look for new ways, look for new things that you're interested in, look for new things that make you happy, new people. Go out and be social. We're going through this epidemic now with the anti-social crisis and the fucking bullshit where people talk about, oh, I'm an introvert and that's why I can't do this, I can't do that. Sometimes you gotta get out of your shell, because if you stay in the shell for the rest of your life, you're never going to strive to be the person that you want to be. You're never going to be that successful person that you want to be. The most successful people that you know on this earth had to get out of their comfort zone, no matter what it is. If it's an athlete, you have to get out of your comfort zone to get up on those days that you don't want to get up and go to the field and put in work, or go to the court and put in work when you really don't fucking feel like it, bro. Or those days where you don't want to go to work, but you need to go to work because you could probably get a big promotion. You could probably get more money if you keep doing this. Or, like I'm doing right now, vlogging, putting your face in a camera. You know that you're funny. You know that you have a purpose. You know you have words for people to listen to and people to be inspired by, but you don't want to do that because you're afraid of what other people think. And that's why I'm here right now. And it's funny because I've been wanting to do content creation for a long time now. And I've been making YouTube videos since I was like 9 years old, I'm not gonna lie. YouTube is really like a big part of my life. I love YouTube. I watch it every day. And, I've always wanted to make content. I tried to make a little content here and there while I was playing football in high school. But I never, fulfilled it or went through it because I was worried about how other people would view me, how other people would look at me when I go back to school. You know how that stuff goes. When, people will be like, oh, you're making YouTube videos? What the fuck? You're cringy. You're ugly. Why are you doing this? Like, you're trying to look cool for all your buddies and shit. So that's why I wouldn't really follow through with it. Even though I know I have a voice and I know I have a good purpose to put out and for people to watch and for people to, gain inspiration from, bro. At the end of the day, I'm a good person with good morals and good wisdom for my age. I'm only 19. So, yeah, bro. That's why I picked up this camera, man. Bro, imagine where you could be if you just stop worrying about people's opinion, bro. At this point in my life, I've lost all, if not majority of my friends from high school. I lost all the women that I was associated with in high school. I've lost all of that. And, for you who's watching this, it's probably gonna happen to you too, man. It's just the way life goes, bro. The stuff that you had in high school or the stuff that you're used to or you're accustomed to is not gonna be there forever, bro. And what's meant to be in your life will stay, and what's not meant to be in your life will go at the end of the day. High school doesn't define you, bro. It doesn't define you at all. You're bigger than high school. You're bigger than that. You're bigger than the homecoming queen and king and the prom queen and king and the student body president and shit, bro. You're better than that, bro. Go do more. Go strive for more. Don't let that day where you walk across the stage be the last that we ever hear from you, bro. Go make something of yourself, bro. And one piece of advice I would give to anybody, you don't have to listen to me if you don't want to, but my advice is to move the fuck out of your city that you're originally from, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Bro, that shit will grow you up fast if you move out of your fucking hometown and your home state, because you're not gonna be able to lean on and rely on your friends and family like that, bro. It's gonna really grow you up. It's gonna turn you to a grown man or woman, whoever watching this, bro. So go ahead, make that move, make that leap of faith, bro. You will thank me later. And if you listen to all the things that I just told you, you'll thank me in the end. You can always come back to this video. All these people that talk about this on YouTube have been out of high school for 5, 10 plus years. If you're just graduating, I'm young just like you. I was probably in school, more than likely was in school at the same time as you. So if you're watching this, you're getting this experience from somebody that was just there with you and someone that just got out of that scene. And I'm telling you this based off of a year of me being gone. So if you want more videos like this, bro, then just tell me in the comment section. If not, then I will continue to do the more style content that I do now. But I just wanted to get real. I want to become a realist. So yeah. Everything is real and authentic over here. you're in high school or you just graduated high school, watch this video. Gotta love nature. Gotta love nature. I'm having a blast out here. I just got out here 2 minutes ago. All right, you boys, I just recorded a whole video and none of it recorded, so I'm starting from the top again.
I recorded bloopers. Oh, God damn it, bro.